Coming up next on Parent Connection, a conversation with Fay Mauro from the Arundel County Volunteer Center. Welcome to Parent Connection. Today our guest is Fay Mauro, the Executive Director of Arundel County Volunteer Center. Thank you so much for joining us today, Fay.
Well, thank you, Teresa. It's delightful to be here.
So for our audience who has never heard of Anne Arundel County Volunteer Center, tell us what the Volunteer Center is.
Well, we are a connector. A volunteer center puts people who want to volunteer together with the agencies that need them. We've been in Anne Arundel County since 2001. We're a small but mighty nonprofit. Because our staff, our paid staff is so small, 2 or so full-time equivalents of staff, we really rely on volunteers ourselves. And we have a lot of skilled volunteers that help us put information out on our website primarily, because that's the easiest way for people to search for volunteer opportunities, whether it's the middle of the night or during regular office hours.
So how does the Volunteer Center actually interact and engage with Anne Arundel County Public Schools?
Well, because we work with more than 4,000 volunteers a year, including many who are students and parents in the county public schools, we are working very hard to make opportunities available with our 300 to 350 organizations for people to use their skills and abilities, for students, not just for service learning purposes, but whether it's a need that they have to fulfill a requirement for a class or for a special project they're working on, we can help them use their skills in a volunteering capacity to learn about our county and the needs and how they can really make a difference here. And we've also been really lucky because working with your office, we can help bring community volunteers into the schools. So both sides of the volunteer connection.
And I know certainly for our office and for all of the schools out there, they're always looking for more volunteers and volunteers with different skill sets. I think that's the big thing we want. Like you said, I love the idea that you said you're a connector, because we have volunteers who sometimes want something specific or have such great skills that they want to do something that still utilizes those skills.
Yeah, volunteering has really evolved. People have less time available, and they want to see the beginning, the middle, and the end of a project. They want to have an impact. So working with your office to bring in opportunities that are out at the individual schools. It could be mentoring or tutoring. It could be working on a particular project, whether it's the robotics or an IB program or a signature program. How to get more community members to know that they are welcome. And we love working with you to make that happen.
So if I'm a parent or a student, how would I utilize the Volunteer Center website?
Well, our website has recently been refreshed, and it is very, very useful for volunteers of all ages and for parents too. As a parent or a student who is 14 or older, they can register and get their own login on our website. And that allows them to volunteer directly, to express a direct interest in something that's coming up on our opportunity calendar. We also have a page that's devoted just to students. And that portal allows students to navigate with more ease and confidence. It has a specific list, 4 pages now, of volunteer opportunities that our agencies are saying we need volunteers who are high school age or older to come and participate with us. Or it could be a family with younger children who could get together and do a project together as a family. So that youth portal, as well as our search engine that allows people to search any of the organizations by focus area or interests that they have. The opportunity calendar, as I said, is always available if you're looking for something in particular on a specific date or time.
And I think that's really important, that our parents and community members know that you can go on the website and look for that opportunity, because sometimes people really would like to give back. They just don't really have a focus on exactly what they want to do. And maybe if you're reading through it, you're going to get some ideas of good things that would fit with your family, or grandparents with grandchildren, whatever the situation would be. I think one of the things that we really stress is to really engage your family and teach your children and your grandchildren what it's like to volunteer and to give back to your community. That is something that really they almost need to see as an example. That's something you can't just say to do. They need to participate in it.
And we try to make it easy for families to do that, because we agree, if you get volunteering early, you're going to continue to be involved in your community at all levels. But that chance to do it with your family, to maybe discuss with your family, looking through the Volunteer Center's website or looking at the volunteer postings for youth, sit down and have a conversation as a family. Well, what are your interests? Where would you like to take your skills next? What would you like to develop as a volunteer? Do you want to use your singing abilities and go out to nursing homes to sing as part of a chorus, or just to be part of Operation Welcome Home? That's one of our partner agencies, and they work with volunteers of all ages to meet the flights that are coming into BWI Airport for deployed military that are coming back to Maryland and throughout the country. There are one-time opportunities as well as continuing opportunities. Families could also engage in days of service. For instance, the Volunteer Center sponsors several days of service, including the Martin Luther King Day that's coming in January, and other environmental days of service as well. These are family-friendly opportunities. We love to see parents pushing children down a path at Lake Waterford Park for a spring cleanup, and having the children engaging in a different way and learning about their community. It's great fun to engage families, and we are also able to suggest by email or by a phone call. If people say, well, I want to do something else, can you direct me? There are our role as a connector is more than just the website. And because we get a lot of information, we're kind of a one-stop shop. If you have a question, we'll try to find the answer if we don't have it at the tip of our fingers.
Well, that's really good to know, and I think it's good for people just to know the resources there. The more we can do to let people know about the Anne Arundel County Volunteer Center, the better it is for the whole county, because, like you said, everyone benefits from this, lots of different agencies. Now, why, if I'm a student, you mentioned a few things, but are there any other benefits for the student actually registering with you?
Well, in addition to perhaps being able to fulfill some of your service learning requirements, if you come into the county, you've transferred in from another school, you may need to earn some of those hours that you don't have yet, so we can help make that happen. We can also help because colleges and employers want to see more than just an occasional drop-in where you've given a few hours for a thon or a food drive, which, while very important, isn't enough these days. Employers want to see a commitment from an individual. Colleges are looking for you to develop your skills and your leadership potential. And since it's sometimes difficult for teenagers to get a paying job, sometimes being an unpaid staff person, it pays other ways. It gives you skills, it gives you potential references, it helps you learn about an organization and how to function in either an indoor or an outdoor work environment. So you can have a great experience that pays dividends even if you're not necessarily getting paid in cash.
Right, and I think that is important, especially in a difficult job market sometimes, or if, like you said, if you don't have lots and lots of experience and you're looking to make a career change, whatever that is. I know so many people who have actually gotten jobs through internships or through some of their volunteer experiences, like you said, even using as a reference,
Right.
people, that's a great opportunity.
And being able to include these substantive opportunities that you've had on your resume or as you're filling out a job application form is really helpful, and it gives you added value to that potential employer, or why a community college or a college would be interested in a person like you.
Right, that's exactly the thing, because when you're trying to be competitive in those applications for college, you're looking for something that does make you stand out. So I think that's a great point to let our parents know as well as let the students know. If I'm an administrator or a teacher in the school system, what's the advantage of me to, how can the Volunteer Center help me?
Well, there are a couple of ways that we're trying to engage community volunteers in our schools. And one of those ways, Teresa, as you well know, is through your office, where school programs are telling you what their needs are, and then your office works directly with us to get it up on our website so that we can assist the general community to learn about that opportunity. Right. Also, we're working with the AVID program in all the schools that use community volunteers, so that those opportunities and trainings we can also list on our website and be just another source of communication for our school system. We also work to, for instance, with Your Harvest for the Hungry campaign, which is so successful every year. There may be people who want to participate but don't have a child in a school. So the Volunteer Center is one of your extra sites, right, where people can bring their donations. We also work with the Homeless Resource Day every year, which is always at one of the wonderful high schools here in Anne Arundel County, and this year will be at Annapolis High School. So we are working with many, many partners, including the schools, to make that day come off, to recruit 300 or 400 volunteers, right, to really have a one day to provide service for people who are homeless or in threat of homelessness.
And I think that's important too, because I've been involved, as you said, in the Homeless Resource Day, and it's so great to see all of the different resources and all of the different agencies come together in one location to try to help individuals who don't have a car to get to all of the different locations, or don't know that there might be services that can really help them, but they didn't know they needed to register, they didn't know how to register, or they don't have a driver's license or an ID, and they need those type of things. So it's something, I think, in our county that is unique and that really shows the strength of our county when we all work together.
In fact, I think our county was the first to do this kind of an event, and now it's popping up everywhere, which it should make us proud. Right. But it is such a collaborative effort. You have the Department of Aging and Disabilities providing bus transportation to pick people up. Some people are living in their cars, and so they have transportation of a sort. But many other folks are living at shelters or are couch surfing. So they may not have transportation, and there will be an advertised route for folks to be picked up to bring them to Annapolis High School for this event. And they are willing to make that entire school available for doctors and nurses and podiatrists and all kinds of agencies who can actually do more than just sign you up. They'll actually provide a benefit for the homeless individual and their family that very day.
And I think that's an opportunity I'd love to see more people take advantage of, not just the clients coming in to get the services, but people volunteering, because it's a great eye-opener to what's going on right in the communities around you that sometimes we just are not aware of.
That's right. And we will have the information about the trainings that are available for volunteers. This one-day event does require you to take a short training There will be opportunities that are convenient for people to do that because you want to know what to expect.
Right.
We want the volunteers to be comfortable and at ease. They're going to be a guide. They're going to have the opportunity to help a family or an individual prioritize what they're looking to achieve that day so they can get what they need. And they will stay with them and travel between the various resources throughout the day, have lunch with them. We have volunteers who are providing lunch for the people who are being served and for the volunteers themselves. So it's a really one very special day to make a difference in the community.
And like you said, that's just one opportunity that you do. But are there other things that why the school system should use the volunteer center and partner with the volunteer center? Do you have other things that you can recommend?
Well, I would definitely say that for both parents and for teachers, having us as a resource. We are here to help. We're not here to fundraise all the time, which of course is a nonprofit.
Right.
We do too. But we are here to answer questions. We're here to say, to help brainstorm, to help families who want to do something together think through the process. If you belong to a business organization that's looking for some team building, if you are part of a team, a sports team, and you want to do something together as a team building exercise, the Volunteer Center can help you pull that together and do a few hours or more frequently get involved as a volunteering organization or group.
And I think that is the strength of it. That's something when you mentioned earlier about schools utilizing the Volunteer Center and actually going through Anne Arundel County Public Schools website or contacting our office and then advertising what they need.
Right.
That's a really important benefit that I don't think we've gotten the word out to as many people as we need to. We certainly have tried, and I think this will help as well, but the more times you say something, the better. That if I'm at a school and I'm having an event, and it could be a spring fair, a fall festival, it could be a wellness day or a whole event where I'm doing maybe our cluster event with lots of different schools and I'm looking for volunteers. Certainly you're going to go out and reach to your own school volunteers, but lots of times you need, like you said, doctors or nurses to do screenings, dental, podiatrists, those type of individuals to come in, or you just might need something that day that maybe you're doing something for Arbor Day or you're doing tree planting, that you just need extra community members to come in and assist your volunteers. That's something that any school can put that out there. We put it on the website and your volunteers then can take a look at that and see if that's something they'd be interested in. And I think that is really important for schools to understand, that that's something in PTAs and PTOs to understand, that that is something we can facilitate through the two agencies working together.
Yes, because it is a collaboration, and that means that people have to think ahead.
Right, that's important.
We don't have freeze-dried volunteers in our back pocket. We are a sounding board. We can get the word out. We may know of organizations or businesses that are looking to volunteer, and we can make those connections happen. But if the schools or the PTAs, PTOs don't let your office know that this needs to get up on the Volunteer Center's calendar, we can't just do magic and make it happen. So as much lead time as we can with the contact information for who the volunteer needs to coordinate with. Because again, it doesn't do anyone any good to just throw volunteers at something.
Right, right. It has to be very, it has to be thought through, and exactly the volunteers, we know this through our work certainly, that volunteers want to know that what they're doing is meaningful. They want to know what they're going to be doing and how long it's going to take. I mean, all of that, like you said, has to be thought through. You can't just say, oh, give me about 10 volunteers.
Yeah, I've seen that kind of blow up in people's face, because if people show up and there's no one to coordinate, no one to give them an assignment, then even if they have the best will in the world, if they're not feeling that their time is being used well, they won't come back.
Right.
And unfortunately, they will also let other people know that they had a bad experience. So it's really up to the person who needs the volunteer, and we'll help them think this through, to put together a description of a task, to help them plan on how long the volunteer shift should be, so they could think about how many volunteers they need for how many hours. But that's the kind of planning, and I know you do this too.
Yes.
At the beginning of every year, you're training your folks in the schools on these very issues.
Right, we do, and we talk through that with them as well. Think about, what, even job descriptions for volunteers. We love to see that, because it really does. If I can flick through very quickly and see these are all the opportunities in a school, oh, I really can only volunteer twice a year, but there are great things I could do that, or I can volunteer once every week or every other week. Really, we can customize things to make it work on both ends and make it rewarding for people on both ends. I think lots of times, certainly when I volunteer, I find that it's much more rewarding for me sometimes than it probably even is for the service that I'm providing, because it really does make you feel good, and it makes you feel like you are giving back to your community. And that's one of the things that our office really wants to also get the word to community members, but we want our students to get that experience of what, sometimes we have students who are always on the receiving end. They may be receiving services for different things, receiving weekend food program, backpacks, receiving free school supplies at the beginning of the year or in the middle of the year. But we want them to share that opportunity to be able to give back too, because it makes them feel important that they're doing something too.
Yes, just to know that they can have a very positive input into their own community, that they can solve problems for other people, makes them, as you said, makes them feel that they are, they have a lot of value and worth, and we know that. We know that that's true.
They do.
But to help the children themselves to recognize that in themselves is very important, and that's something that volunteering can really accomplish.
And I think that's the thing we really want to stress today is you can volunteer if you're school-aged, you can volunteer if you're a parent, a community member. We'd love to get more senior volunteers. We have had that at one time, a large contingency. Haven't had as many now, but I'm starting to hear more and more through some of our new programs and programs of choice and things like that. They're really talking about involving our senior volunteer group, because we know that they bring so much life experience, skills, knowledge, wisdom that we can share with our students, and hands-on learning opportunities. And so we are really very interested in engaging that group too. So one of the things I really wanted our audience to get out of today is to just know about the Anne Arundel County Volunteer Center, to know how to access it on the website, look through the brochures, and we'll be giving them all those kind of tools to look at. And really knowing that this agency is out there, community-based, and to get a hands-on feeling of what it's like to utilize it, the services there.
Yeah, because I think what really hit me when you said it is this sharing of wisdom across the ages is so critical. And if someone is coming in telling their own story and sharing what has happened to them and how they have maybe turned a difficult event into something worthwhile, where they learned and they grew, and a child is able to do something to make that person's life better, it goes both ways. So that opportunity to share our wisdom from our elders and the enthusiasm and skill that our youth have, it's just great to see it.
And you can come into volunteering at any age. My mother-in-law started volunteering really in her 80s. She's 90 now and still volunteers in schools regularly every week. but had never had that experience of what it meant. And once she started doing it, she enjoyed it so much, you know, that she's really kept it up, and they've given her a lot. It's made her life more meaningful. So I think that's a key takeaway. Well, Fay, we really want to thank you for everything that the Anne Arundel County Volunteer Center does for us. We thank you for being here today and sharing the information with everyone. We really do appreciate that.
Well, it was a pleasure to be here, Teresa. Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you for joining us on Parent Connection. Until next time.
Anne Arundel County Public Schools has 2 centers of applied technology, CAT North and CAT South. Students who attend one of the 7 high schools in the northern part of the county would attend CAT North, and students who attend one of the 5 high schools in the southern part of the county would attend CAT South. Both centers offer innovative hands-on programs that provide students with industry certifications, college credit, and apprenticeship credits.
I chose to come to CAT North because this offers a more in-depth field. This is more hands-on, you get more work done, it looks better with colleges, it looks better on a resume, you get more opportunities.
We get the same credits for being here that we would get in high school, but these are fun credits.
You can read about anything and you can think that you know more about it, but until you actually do it, it's a completely different experience. I've been learning about nutrition since I was in 6th grade, and I've never understood it more than until I walked in this kitchen.
It pushed me to look forward more in my future, to give me more motivation, saying, you know, you can do it.
Students come to CAT South and they understand the small classes, they understand one-on-one instruction, they understand hands-on activities.
I get more attention from the teacher because this is a smaller classroom and I can be interacted with, and if I have a question, I can get direct assistance from my teacher at all times.
The most rewarding thing being a teacher is the fact that I can instill a lot of pride in the hearts of the students for a job well done.
They're learning academics in a small classroom setting that are going to prepare them for their future.
The purpose of education is to create citizens that are productive in the workforce.
CAT North provides students with a unique opportunity with the hands-on learning styles, state-of-the-art equipment, the more personalized and smaller classes, and the opportunity to really not just learn about a trade, but actually to learn the trade itself.
CAT South will allow me to advance to take my state board tests so that I can become licensed as a cosmetologist.
Now I know exactly what I want to do, and CAT North pretty much just guided me in the right path.
I can work my way through college doing this, and it's a great opportunity to learn things.
They really, really look forward to leaving our program with certification in the career path that they've chosen.
The partnership that we have with Anne Arundel Community College, in which they can earn college credits that are proficiency credits, is also a great opportunity.
Our business partners are the people that actually drive our programs. They keep us abreast of what's happening in the industry, what the standards are, and making sure that we do see our standards coming through our students.
We found that hiring from the program, we get a better employee that wants to stay here. They grow with us, we grow with them, and the benefit is mutual.
I already have a job opportunity out in the field, and it's really a great reward you get out from this program.
It's a great learning experience. You know, if you want to take what you've learned here and go on to any tech school, you have a lot of, basic knowledge.
You get certifications, and that'll help me with jobs, pursue my career as an automotive technician.
It's preparing me for real work when I get out of high school.
It's real-world industry experience that you just can't get anywhere else, and it really prepares you for the outside world and for post-secondary school.
I'll be closer to being able to get a job and getting into a career.
When I graduate, I'll be more college and career ready.
The only thing I'm going to regret is when they have to kick me out of the door in this place.
Centers of Applied Technology are where students can turn passions into professions. For more information, feel free to contact us by phone or visit our website.